She makes everything about her. She's rude, man.
I've been harassed by people all day. I'm sick to death of it.
I just want it to all stop.
Why are you so angry? Why can't you enjoy life?
I don't know.
You worry me, you know.
Pansy, what's going on?
I'm so lonely. What are we going to do about it? I don't understand you, but I love you.
It's well known that Mr. Leigh doesn't use script when he approached for a project. How do you develop Pansy? How do you create it? What was the direct inspiration? For Mr. Leigh, one of the things that I love about the movie is the production design. Is the house, is Pansy house. I think it works like another character. How was that work? What do you want to create around her?
Well, first and foremost, with the character, creating the character, I mean, as Mike says, we start off with a list of people that we know from life and we talk about them. And then, you know, we settle on a few of those people for our basis to start building the character. And that we do in great detail. You know, what school they went to, the subjects they did at school, what their teacher's name was, who their neighbours were, who lived across the street. Then, you know, Michelle and I would work together with Mike and we'd discuss, you know, their extended family and the traditions and all that. So that starts, you know, that's the beginning of creating these characters.
I mean, no actress played Pearl, the mother, but we talked her into existence in completely 3 dimensions. And obviously, I from time to time took not the role. I didn't act her, but I said, okay, she would say this, she would do that, and in fact, and eventually, at one point, I said, when we were talking into existence, an occasion when Pansy goes round to see, rather reluctantly, goes to see her mother. I said, well, she actually goes into the room and she's dead. Pearl is dead in the bed. What was your reaction to that?
Oh. I wanted to kill him, to be quite honest with you, because we loved Pearl so much, but she was so real to us that it was like, no.
Yeah.
No, she's not.
Because Pansy is very verbal, but also physical. It's very physical.
But that is really what we've just said about Pearl and the death of Pearl is very much really an answer to your question. Basically, it's how we created this world that takes on a complete 3-dimensional resonance. What's tragic in this story about what's happening to these characters, especially to Pansy, is there from the get-go. It's there. It's always been there, and it's there. The way we look at them, the things that are happening, are inevitably tragic and hilarious at the same time. I mean, the structure is about the order of which things happen and how A affects B and so on, which is all anyone could ever say about structure. But the structure isn't a function of a view of stability or mental instability or any of those things, because all those things are on the go all the time, basically.
We first have to kind of explain the way in which we work, which is very organic. Do you know what I mean? The characters are finitely created. So when, for example, we're in character and we're exploring certain things, you're not thinking, oh, I'm doing fear now, she's afraid. Do you know what I mean? Or she's angry. It just really organically happens with the characters and the interactions.
Because they're real.
Because they're real. They become very real. Gosh, you know.
Yeah, I think by the time we get to the point at which we are doing the scenes for the film, you know, there's been so much history and backstory and work that's been done about the relationships that you're seeing, you know, in the family, that yeah, it's not that you're thinking, oh, I'm reacting to, or you know, my character is reacting to this. It's this fear or this grief. It's become their ongoing relationship is, you know, is kind of morphing and changing as they are both going through the grief. So it is very real in that respect. It's that sort of, you know, and like in any family, you know, you are going through a series of different sort of aspects within the family. So we know that, you know, people have just gone through Thanksgiving and what that means to all those people around that table. Everyone's having a kind of different experience based on what happened in the last year and the phone conversation that they had and who died in the last year and who's getting married and what, you know what I mean? It's very much like that in, you know, creating these relationships with Mike.